Boys, welcome back to Ace Attorney Ryunosuke Naruhodo the Great. In the last one, Inspector Gregson died. Very tragic, very sad. I'm actually shook about it. Quite frankly, I don't know if I can trust anything anymore till I see his body. However, even Kazuma-sama, I saw his body and he turned out to be very much alive, so who really knows anything about anything anymore? Look at how many people I have. Susato-san, Mitochondria, Hairlock Sholmes, Iris, Susato-san's dad, the Judge, Jigoku, Gina, who we all hate, Lord Strongheart, who I might need to talk to today. We might have to go to the Lord Chief Justice. I found a gun. I found a firearm, and I've come to the conclusion that I think I need to show the firearm to somebody who's educated on firearms. That's the only real hint I feel like I remember getting last one, and I am a little bit stuck and not knowing what to do. So that's kind of sort of where my strategy today is going to be, I think. Hopefully that'll sort itself out nice enough, I think. Maybe, possibly. Oh, I don't know where you guys are, actually. Hang on one second. Why is my chat disappeared? Can I fix that? Ein Moment bitte gern. I can fix this. One moment. This is what I do. Try that. Okay. Sehr gut, all is well. All right, sound is good. Good to hear. All right. So, yeah, actually, that's the thing. We got stuck here on Fresno Street. Don't know what to do, so we haven't been here yet. And Susato-san even says, hey, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know you haven't been here for a while, right? So maybe you should go visit. All right, fair enough. Like any good American, I'm going to go to the government building with a gun. It's November 1st, but this is a joke, by the way, FBI, government. I am in no way suggesting that is a thing I would ever actually do. We are talking about a fictional video game at this moment in time. I have to be careful. It is the Trump presidency, all right? They're occupying all the cities with the military. It's getting crazy out here, okay? It's November 1st. We're at the British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Ah, you've made good time. I took an express train back to London. Did I not? Q! Hello! Hi, George. I've been binging your Phoenix Wright stream VODs, but I'm not quite caught up yet. Oh, well, which one are you on? Because some of them I'm more proud of than others. I think the original trilogy I was probably a little bit rough in. But I think Apollo Justice I got a little bit better around the Magic Panties escapades. And then, as I say every single time, Dual Destinies still sits top tier as one of my favorite Ace Attorneys that I've played. Don't be fooled by case number 2 with Jinxie. We don't talk about her. Everything else was top tier. Alright, who are we talking to? I'm here. I can hear Lord Strongheart. Can you? Yeah! It sounds as though he's talking to somebody. Oh my god, it's my boyfriend! Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's Kazuma-sama! Subtle, Susato-san. Ah, your timing is impeccable! It is? I mean, I am happy to walk in on my boyfriend. No doubt you've heard the sickening news! Yeah, I did. Oh, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Honestly, is that considered an underrated game or a hidden gem? I loved the Layton and Phoenix Wright crossover. I thought the concept worked really, really well. Low key, I really wish they would make another one. I feel like those two games go together like peanut butter and jelly. Am I wrong for thinking? It felt like a match made in heaven. I'm like, you could totally do that again. You could give us another one. I'd be okay with that, I think. Maybe. All right, about the Reaper's latest delivery. Yeah. Right, I did hear about Inspector Gregson. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Von Seeks could have done such a terrible thing to Inspector Gregson. I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Von Zeeks for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective.
But no! Surely not.
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes.
So, does that mean that the trial is tomorrow?
Precisely. Isn't that how it always goes? In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions.
Is he about to be hired as the prosecution? Because
there is an interesting dilemma here. Lord Von Zeeks is our prosecutor for this game. He's always the one doing the prosecuting. Well, he can't fucking prosecute himself, so we for sure need a new prosecutor. Oh, this is gonna be dramatic.
Kazuma?
Ah, but of course. You're already acquainted, aren't you? Well, a little bit more than acquainted, actually. It's fine. Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings. Leading the prosecution. Yep, I am a smart boy. I saw that one coming. I have logic on my side. I have the power of deduction.
Wait, what? Huh?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma-sama? But a prosecutor?
Oh, God, the leather on his groin is really striking to look at, actually. All right, well, we have to have conversations about this, I presume. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock.
Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
But Lord Von Zeeks firmly denies any involvement in such matters. Well,
to be fair, he was actually pretty fucking wishy-washy when we tried to talk to him.
And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent.
Well, that's certainly true. Or it has been, at least, until now.
Oh.
No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
Okay, so why is he... Kazuma, what's going on here? So, my boyfriend's going to be prosecuting the case tomorrow?
Your boyfriend? Doesn't matter. That's right.
But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Kazuma-sama? Surely there are many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
You asked for this? But why?
It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Well, here's the thing. It doesn't mean anything, Kazuma. Listen, Lord Von Zeeks and I are purely platonic, but he is kind of my bro at this point. Ooh, I'm using the word bro. God, the effects of heterosexuality upon me. Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. Yeah, that's also true. But it's okay. He doesn't really have much of a choice.
surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact. In other words, it seems like a lot of bullshit to me.
Oh yeah, right. Tito TJ, hello. You are quite right, Miss Mitochondria. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. Oh. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks. So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution? Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for many months. Kazuma? I don't understand why he's being so hostile to me now. This isn't gonna end well, my lover. Oh god, it's... You know, every fairy tale is always enemies to lovers. But now we're lovers to enemies. Yeah, oh, by the way, I almost forgot the reason that I came here. Would you please look at this gun? Do you know if it belongs to Lord Von Zeeks? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene. Right, well the thing is, about that, actually, she wasn't really sure. She's kind of just an idiot kid who has no parents, so she told me that I should ask somebody who's, like, intelligent, and to see what they might know. Sorry, that was rude. Somebody who has an education.
That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct.
It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim.
No. Gregson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Von Zeeks? He claims it's currently not in his possession. Well, that's not a good look. According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
But just because a gun in question is the same type as the defendant's, that is not proof that it's actually his!
No, of course not.
Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Von Zeeks. So, what do you want me to do now? Can I still show him the gun? Maybe? Do you have anything to say about this? Does he have anything to say about anything? Can I talk to my boyfriend? Okay, do you have anything to say about this? No. That's fine. Well, maybe I'm done here, and maybe now that I've done this, what I can do is... well, actually... Do you have anything to say about the Red-Headed Lodge, by chance? No. Okay. He doesn't really want us to waste any of his time. That's fine. Maybe there's somebody somewhere. Maybe I'm supposed to. Can I talk to Kazuma, actually? Am I allowed to do that? I'm sorry for all the worry that I've caused you, but it'll be all right now. Is your memory all the way back, Kazuma? Yes, completely. I remember everything, including what I was coming here to do. Right. Well, that's good. Yes, super. Kazuma-sama! I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. Oh, you hear voices. Well, that's a little bit alarming. It was that voice that guided me here to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway,
My memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before. Does he mean our relationship? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Yeah. It doesn't look like we're gonna glean much more here. Okay, well, thank you boys so much for this conversation. I feel, mostly hopeless and a little bit feckless, but I will, cower away with my tail between my legs. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our empire's history. Right, no pressure. There's much you could learn from the public gallery. Okay. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. I guess we will, see ourselves out.
Hold it.
Oh! Kazi? Before you go, Ryunosuke. Yeah? What is it, Kazuma? I just wanted to thank you. Oh. You're welcome. Wait, what for, actually? Kazuma-sama, what? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my steed. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. What is that? I actually have a favor to ask of you. A favor? What is that? This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Yeah, that's kind of was already planning on doing that, but yeah, I mean, I will be there for you. Sorry, gotta be the supportive boyfriend, holy shit. Right in front of me, as the defense counsel. Oh, you wanna, like, fight a little bit. Okay, you got a little bit of feist in you. All right, this could be fun. Why? What's all of this about? I know you have what it takes. To beat you? To win? But Lord Von Zeeks won't put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. Does he? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. Oh my god, look at how happy he can be when he smiles. That's Lord Von Zeeks! And Inspector Gregson! And his brother, I think. In a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And who's this third person? It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office. In Gregson's office? You mean... Yes. What I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. An old photographic print displayed rather prominently in Inspector Gregson's office, as if it were a treasured memory. I don't understand. Why are you giving this to me? Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What's your end goal? It sounds like he wants us to win. He's being super fucking helpful. So, it's like he's not on our team, but like he is on our team. Maybe he's a spy. That's not going to be a good look for our kind. The Japanese, I mean. I'm one of them now, at least for the duration of this video game. Well... Okay, visiting hours are almost over. You heard the guy. Let's go back to the prison, to the prison. Ah, still reading, are ya? Really lost in Albert Hairbrain's letter. Lord Von Zeeks is still reading that letter. Yeah, it must be really emotional. You know, we've been gone for quite some time, though. Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even be able to read English faster than he can. Ooh, awkward. Yeah. Speaking of, Oh my god. Okay, have we all been caught up on the news as of late? The fucking the truck driver who like did an illegal U-turn on the highway and killed a family of 3 that drove into his fucking semi-truck. So he apparently had a CDL. Which is a commercial driver's license. It's a more advanced license than a regular person license. Like, you need to get a special driver's license to drive semi-trucks, like for companies and stuff. And he apparently was licensed in both Washington and California, and the dude doesn't speak English, which is so I don't know what's going on in our court system. I can only blame capitalism, because this is the end game of capitalism. You try to find the cheapest labor possible. That's why in the United States, typically, most jobs that do exist will ultimately get outsourced to other countries, where there are people who exist who will do the labor for a fraction of what American citizens would do the work for. And that's just the way that capitalism always looks for the cheapest way to get things done, and cutting corners. And it sounds like some really, really serious corners were being cut in this situation, because how a driver who came into our country and doesn't know English got a CDL is crazy. And this isn't to discriminate against people who don't speak English, which is weird that we even have to have this conversation. Road signs in the United States are in English. You have to have a demonstrated level of proficiency to be able to read road signs and safely drive and respond to English communicated information if you're going to be a truck driver. That's just a non-negotiable. That's the same. We also don't give licenses to people who are blind, because as much as we might love blind people and respect them, you can't drive a car if you can't see. So, like, there are certain skill sets that you need. And how those skill sets are being overset. Oh, we have a couple of dicey situations going on that need to be worked out. There's been so much news today. Yeah, there really has. In other news, our dear President Donald Trump, he's trying to make it illegal to burn the United States flag, which is really weird, because that's been challenged in the Supreme Court, but I guess the Supreme Court really means nothing anymore nowadays. Despite the fact that we in America simultaneously our number one if you go and you ask random Americans what's our number one value, 9 out of 10 Americans would be like, oh, it's our freedom of speech. We're the land of the free, and we can say what we want, and we can do what we want. Well, it seems like every day that's getting stripped further and further away from us. And guys, how much further are we going to slip into authoritarianism? You're going to put people in jail for a year for burning the American flag? Yes, it is disrespectful as fuck to do, but that's the point of being a free American, is that you have the freedom to disrespect your country. It's not supposed to be like an authoritarian regime where you have to show your support to the country. That's weird. That's scary. I digress. We'll move past it. This is supposed to be escapism. Let me talk to my boyfriend in jail. I was intending to ignore you entirely. I'm pretty difficult to ignore. Once I get started, I tend to ramble. But I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese. Oh, sorry? I didn't think you'd hear that. I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Oh, that's what he was reading.
Right. We heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times must I fuck. How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you.
In other words, you're totally fucked. We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'd expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is. It's gonna be Kazuma Asogi. Asogi? That made the color drain from his face. Huh. Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. Oh, really? That's all that it took? My old boyfriend? Okay. Well, let's talk about him. 10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi.
Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
I think it's Genshin, Susato-san.
Really? You're gonna lecture me, the person who keeps calling me Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell?
Okay, damn, sorry. So what cruel twist of fate is it now then, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court. Hey, that's what I always call the courts here. I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve?
And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that? Asogi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you Nipponese. Yeah, your hatred of all of us Japanese. Tell me something I don't know. Alright, the Nipponese bane. Here we go. I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer, the so-called professor. Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student, dispatched from Scotland Yard. And that must have been Genshin Asogi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong.
Oh gosh, how awful.
To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I you what? You blew who? Beleaguered? Beluga whale? Beleaguered? Excuse me.
Beleaguered.
Oh, beleaguered. Beleaguered. In a very difficult situation. What? Surrounded by... Wait, am I searching the right word? Beleaguered.
Beleaguered.
But I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. You made him in a very difficult situation? Cause problems or difficulties
Beleaguered.
for. Okay. I beleaguered. Guys, one of the... This is... Playing video games is what makes you a better reader. I'm convinced of that as a kid. I think it's why I used to read above grade level, and I think I need to play more of these games because I think I need to really improve my vocabulary. Beleaguered. I made things difficult for the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. Alright, so you were a real pain in the ass. That's what you did. You were beleaguering. Word of the day, add it to your calendars. Or do you guys all already know what that word is? God, George, you're such a fucking idiot. How do you not know what the word beleaguered means? Can you spell that for me?
What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor?
The man in charge of the Professor Case inquiry, Lord Mel Strongheart.
Oh.
Wait, what? Lord Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Oh, son of a bitch, in the Ace Attorney universe, literally every single person who is a prosecutorial advisor is always a supervillain. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I've felt indebted.
I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor.
Anyway, Time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? A Japanese. And of all things, as a lawyer, a Japanese lawyer, I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years, that hatred had festered inside of me, I could no longer control it. And I can understand why. Now I know the history. But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Asogi I am the bane of his, the Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it out in court tomorrow. I don't think that's true, because he's asking me to represent you, and Kazuma is in love with me. He wouldn't set me up for failure like that. He's only doing that because he thinks I can win, I think. I have all of my faith in him. Okay, let's keep going on this. Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture had finally been arranged in the forthcoming month. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yeah. You know, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean?
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Oh!
The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. Yeah, if there's one group of people who are real fucking assholes, it's the French. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed.
I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would have never been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my! 10 years ago?
Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed. Well, that was pretty stupid of you all. And my brother was of course a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So, you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then.
And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
Yeah, because you highly respected him. I don't have confidence in anyone. Okay, well, don't tell the courts that, because we're trying to paint a picture here, all right? We're trying to paint you as a man who loved Gregson and would never hurt a hair on his head.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London. I don't know that that's true. What really went on between Lord Von Zieks and Gregson? I'm wondering. What was the true nature of their relationship? I'm always so fucking nosy. Alright, that sounds like my cue to show you the picture, but before I do, can you look at this gun? About the gun that was used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Ah, yes. That's not mine. Oh, thank God. Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is yours. Well, what do you expect me to say to that? Do you have, could you say something about, like, the ballistics being the fingerprint of a firearm?
Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm.
As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That I don't know.
The fuck?
I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps.
You have something in common with Lord Von Zeeks after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things.
I fear that's just a common trait of men, Susato-san. No, wait, this has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into this. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese.
Oh dear, the rift is very wide between you two boys. Kiss and make up.
So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't really look good for us, that's for sure. Alright, now I will show you the photo. Alright, can you explain this photo of all of you boys, please? How do I present? Oh, wait. Ein Moment, bitte gern. Over here, over here. Would you please look at this photograph now? Lord Von Zeeks, we came by this old photograph. Where did you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. Is the man on the left there? Yes, that's my brother, Clint. Details of Gregson's photograph updated. Sick deal. It had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know? Were you aware of that? Respect? That's nonsense. No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gino Lestrade, no less. Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time that things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you. You're welcome? I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes. A brief twinkle, actually. Oh, do you guys remember Twink, the little star? An insight into the true nature of this man, known to all as the Stone Cold Reaper of the Bailey. Alright, so seriously, we've been dicking around for a really long time. This investigation has felt like it's gone on for a year. Can you agree to let me defend you? Can you agree to let me defend you in a court of law? Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, wait, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name. I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. Me? That's what you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth. Lord Von Zeeks! Oh my goodness! From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey, almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese, who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. Hear that, Susato-san? I have absolute integrity. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother Clint, and Genshin Asogi. Oh, that's a weird thing to say about the man that you hate. What a paradox. So, I'm gathering that Genshin Asogi is not actually our killer, and I'm going to inevitably clear his name. Because we are getting vibes from multiple people that he was such a great man, such a noble man. It seems like this has to be a setup of some kind. There's some type of government conspiracy. They made Genshin Asogi out to be the killer. That is what we are going to uncover. So who's the real mastermind behind everything? I don't know. Shot in the dark, probably Lord Strongheart. He was involved in the case. He was supposed to be the prosecutor, but he gave it over to fucking Lord Von Zeeks and was like, I'll take a back seat on this. You handle it. Super sus. The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me. You mean this one? Look at this photograph! Back then, I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I looked to the future with hope. Yeah, you were a real cutie back then. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it impossible to breathe. I'm sorry? Truly, I am. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me? Girl, I thought you would never ask. Of course I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased you guys kissed and made up, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands.
Right. I can make that work.
For Lord Von Zeeks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask, which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma. Shit, boys. We're getting into it now. To be continued! Oh, thank the Lord. Thought we would never get to the fucking trial. Well, save your progress? Absolutely. Let's be so fucking for real. It's a little bit early. It's only 7:45, but this is a very natural stopping point. So, I think it makes the most sense that I dip early, I go and relax, and I will see you boys tomorrow, and we will start trial tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Does that sound like a plan? I think that sounds like a plan. How long will the trial last? I don't know. If the way I've been playing this game, probably like a month and a half. So strap in and get ready for it, boys. If you could leave a like on the stream, the engagement is super helpful, and I will see you, boys, at the trial, part 1. Until then, toodles!